Both teams came out of the gate hot and fast on their own map picks. It was 7 in a row for Detonate on map number 1. It was a 7-2 lead for Iron Blood on map number 2. Both teams narrowly winning their own map pick. 16-12 on Inferno for Detonate, 16-14 for Iron Blood on Vertigo. That means we go to a third and final map. It is Ancient. Boggs and Pineapple Phillips here with you all tonight. Cryptic running down the block has picked up one. Intra only able to get one, and before she's done, Florence and Brett have come through for a couple more. Dare and Shane moving on through the rotation CT. The bomb is ticking away. The nade has gone through, but doesn't really soften them up all too much. Dare and Shane have armor. They don't need to contest this at all. They could honestly just save the armor for the next round. It would not be a bad idea.
It wouldn't be, and also important to note, we didn't know who would be starting where on this map. Detonate obviously now on the T side. I'm assuming that means Iron Blood won that I found.
I would assume,
because this
yes.
map is so obscenely CT-sided, but I would say, honestly, for a new team like Detonate, it looked so good on their T side of Vertigo. This is a blessing for them. 100%, I would say, starting on the T side of this map is a blessing for them, especially with that pistol round victory. We saw they have all sorts of strats ready in the strat book, and it is obviously much easier for them to warm up their T side than it is the CT side. Very well done. I love the strat there. Smoke deep towards CT spawn, cut off that point, and then take control of the square there. Push all the way through down that side area and find the kills. Very well done from them. Detonate take the early lead, and Iron Blood, no horse in this race. They're going to have just pistols. So I think one flash as well is the only investment for a peek up towards the B stairs. Other than that, Lawrence combining fire, finds one with Micro. Cryptic chiming in. It's just Snab remaining. He went through Jaguar. Did get one solitary kill, but that's all he'll find. A nice, clean, quick mop-up for Detonate in the second.
Good, clean anti-eco from the T side, but now they're going to go up against the guns. Iron Blood picking up the rifles here. A couple M4s and A1S. 2 FAMAS, FAMI. However you want to call the plural of FAMAS. I still have never gotten a great answer out of that. FAMAS just sounds awful, though.
It's gotta be FAMAS.
Why don't we just go scientific and be like FAMI?
It's not something that's like, it's Greek versus Roman. That's the scientific.
Why don't we do FAMIS? Like goose, geese.
Also octopuses.
It's octopi.
I believe it's octopuses, but it could be either one.
I thought the proper plural was
Greek versus Roman. I don't know. Either way, it's straight into the leg. Shane, one and done. Intra blinded. A bit of a boom there on the FAMAS, finding a second as we continue forward into this A site. Rotations have come through, and Micro on this flank is going to be critical. He doesn't find anything. Snav holding for it from the donut finds one. Two to deal with. Snav finds one. We're at a trade, but then he'll be done. Intra with the FAMAS striking again. Iron Blood on the board rather quickly. The first rifle round goes their way. Detonate. Do they have enough to go for an investment? It doesn't seem like it. They're on the cusp of doing so, but I'd say a half buy instead is the better call. I say that. It's going to be an investment. Never mind. AKs, 3 to be exact for Freshie, Florence, and Brett. Tech 9 for Micro, and Galil for Cryptic. There is some utility, but not a huge amount. In fact, Freshie's completely absent thereof. Utility department, so they will have to win this via attrition, and that's not the way you want to start. Freshie taken down immediately. Nice start for Iron Blood.
Phenomenal start for Iron Blood, taking down one of the heaviest hitters from map number 2, already out of the rip. Freshie getting knocked down. It's a good start for Iron Blood here as they look to get off to that CT side roll. Brett shuffles the AK forward to try and allow Micro to recover that a little bit easier, but Iron Blood now have given up the mid control as they have the donut player in Intra. And they'll just bolster the actual site defenses when it comes down to it. Molotov in Intra's position, swinging around wide, will only take 60 points of damage and will back out of that one alive. Mid A split seems to be the play. Utility flying forward. Brett being watched for now. Intra rotating out of donut and in towards middle. There from behind Big Fox. Sprays away, but Micro has the first. Cryptic trades out Shane. And that's going to be a 3v3, but Micro is only on 7 HP. That is a problem. Intra is here, but cannot stop the bomb plant. Cryptic still up close and more utility. Sprays down Intra too. A little overzealous perhaps from Intra. Snap in through Temple, gets the drive. Micro must have been minimap looking. That's the wheel right there, but Cryptic's got one. Backs away, trying to vanish like a cryptid. and catch Droid from somewhere unaware. Droid clears on sight, runs by, hits the headshot before falling down. A costly round, but a victory nonetheless for Iron Blood. Now it should be a half buy from Detonate here, as there is no realistic expectation for a full invest.
This is where the going can get tough. They need to keep the pressure on, buy some pistols maybe, do some damage. That is the main goal going forward. Ironblood, the economy's not in a good way, as you can tell. The most money in the bank is 1K on Droid, so if Detonate can find 2 or 3 kills, keep the money honest, they can possibly reset with a victory in the following. That should be their ultimate end game in a round such as this. Maybe a bomb plant for a little bit of extra cash influx, but it should truly be an attempt at some damage. Deagles. Or Deagle, I should say. Actually, there's 2. There we go. Florence on and Cryptic. Snab, though, just through the boards, drops Cryptic. That's one of those 2 Deagles taken down. Ironblood already looking comfortable on the CT side. Niche angles as well.
Taps from Micro, not yielding anything. Droid with 2 more, and Florence will fall to Droid. Flawless anti-half buy from Iron Blood. And the CT side is starting to come forward here as the dominant side on Ancient, as it should. I mean, if there's one map that is CT sided to the max in this pool, it is Ancient. I think Vertigo's a close second there. But Ancient is probably the most CT sided map in the pool. And it almost seems like Train of Old with how defensive this map feels.
It does.
I mean, Overpass has become rather CT-sided too, but I think that's going to change significantly with the M4 changes.
I would think so. This map has so many close angles that the A1S can still really pack up on a snap. Off to a stellar start. Intro finding a third, and this rifle round's over in the blink of an eye. Bomb will be recovered by Florence Shore, but with a combined HP of 114 on the 2 remaining T-side players. What can they really do? Answer is more than likely not a lot. Sure, they've been given some room over towards that B main area-ish. Spam is still so deadly. Florence just holding, hoping to be gifted something, and Freshie slowly grouping up. 14 HP. He's very squishy indeed. This is going to be a 4th for Iron Blood. The question is, can Detonate do something?
I think a big problem for Detonate here is the fact that Freshie is 0-3. 5 rounds into the game.
25 damage total.
Yeah, it's just not enough. You need Freshie to be towards the top. Yeah, Cryptic's fragging, Brett, Micro, and Florence are all putting in work, but you need Freshie there too. He's one you expect to have a lot of impact. Florence with the spam, does a little bit of chip damage to the Droid. Freshie out wide, there's his first, opens his account for 1. Intra trying to back away, the stroke has managed to get away. Florence's wild spray does not find anything, dares come on the flank through cave. And that's 4 straight for Iron Blood. Good fast start for them. Detonate going to need to get back in the win column very quickly. I don't think this round will be the one they achieve that, though. I think they're looking for 5, maybe 6 rounds out of this half in general. But they are going to need to cut their losses, go for a half buy, do some damage, get a bomb plant. That's the name of the game in this round. Iron Blood have also not yet pulled out the op on this map, Nate. I think that's something that will just really help Iron Blood get into a lot smoother of a defense. He's getting out the big green gun. That's a big chunky boy of a nade, and Dare will get the nade kill on the Cryptic. Brett down to 12 HP, Florence at 44. Dare in towards red will make Florence see it. And Intro with the taps, picks up a pair as well. Brett down and dusted by Dare. Good flawless round again from Iron Blood. That's their 2nd flawless of this game, and they've been managing the anti-ecos incredibly well on this map.
2nd flawless. The round before last, they only lost 1 player, if I'm not mistaken. I believe so, yeah. So, Ironblood, this is where things can get insurmountable. Unless that may find a key read in which they can find 2 or 3 rounds against full buys, it should be Ironblood kind of just running away with it. That's just the nature of Ancient. It feels suffocating. That's because it is. Brett exchanging utility towards middle. Back and forth. No damage in either direction, though, as of yet. And Detonate have decided it's going to be an A play through the halls. 4 players here. 5th throwing a flash towards middle to show presence as Micro before he begins his slow rotation around. We'll probably play towards middle, but time will tell. Shane gets the spot. He's going to play outside of the ancient hallways, and Brett and Cryptic find both in the entry. That was not expected. Instra and Shane both go down. Riker now quickly rotating into backlines. He does not have to go for the flank. That is a massive round, a massive pair of entries for Detonator. 3 versus 5. At this point, Ironblood know it's probably already over. They're going to save their rifles for the following, and the biggest question to me now is, do we see an op come out for this CT side in round number 8? Round number 9, excuse me.
I would assume so. I think Dare's been very good with it so far this series, and I don't see why you wouldn't pick up an op on Ancient. I do think it's a very key round for Detonate to win, though, here at this juncture. Because losing this round lets Ironblood get off to a very early start. 5-3, it's still close enough. Neither team really has too big of an advantage, too big of an early lead, right? It's still very close and contentious. Contentious. So,
the third time you've said that.
Yes. I don't know why I have a mental block on that right now.
I had
Either
to say
way.
it. I had to say it.
I blame my neck. Anyways, let's see if they get the op. And they don't.
I had an inkling they might. Seems like Denny's been playing rather smothering on their half buys, rather aggressive, and not can get easily overwhelmed. Whether it's towards middle or towards B. Feels like Ironblood with a lot of autonomy between their players, a lot of individuality. You see they're kind of all on their lonesomes. Might just get overwhelmed if it plays into way. Utility damage though in the early goings, and a good shutdown from Droid. 3 and 4 for him on the A4. As he recovers an AK and upgrade for his trouble. That's a clean and flawless round for Ironblood. And now it really does feel like they're running all this. They shut down the rifles in their entirety. Good utility damage to start. A nice 4K with an individual shining through, I should say, in Droid. A massive 4K from him. And Detonate, barring that pistol round victory, we've seen nothing promising from them.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple, like the gun round they won round number 8 was good. But this one is going to a technical pause, so folks, we are going to cut to that break. We'll break this one down and get back into Ancient when we return. So stick around and stay tuned. The rest of this matchup coming at you in just a bit. Technical issues have been resolved, so we can return to Detonate versus Iron Blood. Iron Blood on the CT side of the third and final map. Each team taking their own pick. 16-12 for Detonate, 16-14 for Iron Blood, Inferno and Vertigo, respectively. Boggs and Pineapple Phillips here on the mic. And it's another buy-up for Detonate, and a buy-up which they pretty much have to win if they don't want to let Iron Blood get off to the races here. In both of these first two maps, the team that got out to the early lead, early significant lead, 6-3, not big enough. It's like a 7-0, 7-2, 8-3. That's where things start to get out of control. The team that got out to that kind of a lead ran away with the map in the end, and it was kind of just too much catch-up to be played by the team coming from behind. Detonate need to keep this one close.
Yeah, it wasn't a runaway, but it was just an insurmountable lead, just in terms of the math. Their team did pull off a comeback, did recover, but not in a way to reverse the already aforementioned conclusion. So, pressure's already on. As you mentioned, Detonate. You said 7-3 was a scoreline where things kind of became a wash. It's 6-3 now. This would be a big round for Detonate to come back into it. No early casualties. That's important to note because we've seen so many in rounds prior. Specifically from, I believe, Snav in towards Jaguar. It's going to be detonated over towards B. Smoke zone. There's only one player here. That's Snav. He's in towards the cave, and now he's stuck in. Cryptic playing in timings. Everything. Actually, loses two players here, but they get shut down in their entirety. Snav and Droid cut by Freshie and Cryptic, and both B-side defenders taken down without incident. It might even be a savior from Iron Blood, depending on what Intra can find. What can they do? Not much is the answer. Points by the trade, and that is what seals the fate. Iron Blood going to save Shane, crossing the hazard there. Here as well, going towards a donut. It's going to be a fourth for Detonate. They do recover after the tech pause, but can they find a second? That's the important question. Iron Blood have lots of gas left in the tank. They'll have no problem reinvesting. Detonate, they need to win multiple in a row to chip away at this economy Iron Blood have built.
They'll have to win multiple in a row, but if they're able to do so, it's going to be so very good for the Detonate side. Getting rounds on the T side is not an easy feat. To where at 5 you're a bit more comfortable, 6 you're in good territory, 7 is where you have really established yourself on the T side. So they're on the border of at the very least getting the bare minimum of what they want. That is a solid start here for the Detonate side. They have to string a couple more together though to really truly become comfortable. Dare has pulled out the big green gun, so he finally opts for the op. Let's see if he's going to be able to get the damage done here. Droid going very aggressive. Cryptic's waiting for it on the other edge of the doors. If there's no flash for Droid, this could end very poorly for the CT player.
Up there, I believe, is supporting as well. Close behind him, and there we go. Dare strikes twice through the door. He'll drop Cryptic, and that just shuts down one half of this hold. This default from Detonate. They'll now be sent sprawling over towards A. They'll try their darndest to get entries in, but Iron Blood are already waiting. A player on the back of the site with an A4. A second one coming back in the back lines. That's the op of Dare, and they have a lot to do here. Swing to the back of the site. Spot Brett on the jump up. Brett dancing around, tries to find something, but nothing comes his way. And then trying to find another, furthering the advantage. Brett's trying to trade short, but snapping into the kind. It's now Brett in the smoke trying to do something, and well, he reeks of desperation. In the smoke, he's caught. 7-4, Iron Blood clapped back instantly. Detonate, though, they're not at the end of their economic rope. They will go for a buy in response. For AKs, there should be a fifth as well. Maybe an op on the cards for Florence if he's daring enough, but we'll have to wait and see.
Op on the T side might not be something they want to go for right now. It will not be something they want to go for right now. But what they do need is a win. And Shane's going to try and shut this all down. Takes the duel. Does not take a lot of damage either. The M4A4 starting to really shine through. More and more players picking up the unsilenced variety. And that's just a dry peak that gets punished from Detonate. That's something that happened a lot on their Vertigo and Inferno T-sets with their dry peaks got punished. But on the T-set of Vertigo in particular, Detonate were able to really build off of any bit of ground they were able to gain. And they haven't been able to do that too much on Ancient. It's been a little too safe here. And there's another dry peak. Shane's going to pop 2 more from up on boost. And it's just Detonate not looking too comfortable with their T side on this map, looking a little lost, not clearing certain angles.
Just imploding. Not finding anything. Option middle, more likely. There we go. Freshie, though. Maybe he can offer some resistance. Finding two. Bomb down at his feet. Still 45 seconds to work with as well. Surely Ironblood don't give this away, though. Bomb recovered by Freshie, and he will now slink in to go towards Donut, hoping the timing is in his favor. And it is as well. Plays his cards right. He will find an empty A bomb site, but he has to be quick. Droid is on the flank, the long flank as well. It's 2 to deal with the middle and 1 in the ruins. Timing's everything. That dude, Freshie's gonna get caught from CT. No doubt in my mind. Yes, he is. There we go. Cut for free by Shane. No bomb plant, although it was a valiant attempt from Freshie. Ironblood guarantee themselves an advantage going into the second half. This is a CT side of the map. They should expect 10. Honestly, 11 would be par for the course at this stage.
I think 11's a little too much for what we've seen in NA a lot recently. I think 10 is more par for the course. 9 is a little more shaky, but still winnable. 8 is where you really start to feel the sweat. And Florence has gone for the Gungnir now. Picked up the op. And he hasn't been able to get any early picks. Now, one thing's for sure, Ironblood have done a good job of not over-aggressing on their CT side. They've gone for certain pushes, but they don't stick out so far, it's unsalvageable. And I think that's been a very good part of their CT side. Detonate don't have a lot of utility left to work with. Freshie has none. Florence only on a smoke. Shane in towards Donut. Gonna look to fry a couple of players walking through. And with all this mid-utility, this is a pretty telegraphed play from the T side.
Yes, it is. Just trying to slowly begin towards Donut. The Molotov will flush the player out. He will smoke it, but Shane, lucky to be alive. Your Detonate aren't going to force the issue with him. Instead, they're going to fall back. Look towards B. Intra and Droid. The defenders here have been throughout this first half, and they have rebuked a fair few take from their positions. Freshie lurking in the middle, though, could find Shane here. If he overextends, no, not meant to be. Detonate have decided. A B plays on the cards, smoke thrown in, set utility thrown in. Droid will find one before he's done. Second for Florence, and a third for Freshie. Intro, though, on the site wants to shut it down. One, not the second. Cryptic takes the damage, but does not fall. He's just Dare, the heavy hitter on the big green in the 1v3. More than likely going to save this rifle at this stage. Just doesn't seem possible. Ellen Drama's in hand. Yeah, it's going to be a save. No chance, no horse in this race. Detonate do secure a fifth. They slow things down. They get control of middle. They parse apart the defenders. And they hit their shots as needed.
And that's what they needed to do. To slow things down, hit their shots. I mean, theoretically in Counter-Strike, if you shoot them before they shoot you, you're going to win. Right?
Yep.
If you boil Counter-Strike down to its base parameter, you shoot them before they shoot you.
It's simple, Bugs. You should go pro. Coach.
Yeah, I think that's going to win a major right there, that mantra.
Yeah. If you can't do, teach.
Ain't that the truth? You know how good I am at this game.
Yeah, that was kind of meant to be a dig. Subtle one, but I think it was good.
Not so subtle.
Ironblood. Still have an investment. Detonate on the cusp as well. Micro on a Galil. Less than ideal, but still can get the job done. Ironblood rifles across the board, including that big green on Dare that we mentioned before. Florence still has his Gungnir in hand as well, and Detonate changing things up yet again, looking to go towards A. This is the right read. It is a more or less a retake situation. Dare's going to harass from the walls, but he's already smoked on. I say that. Florence tries to go for the peek beforehand. Much to his chagrin, he's caught Shane now into his donut, though. Be pressed upon. And a retake set up. Freshie finding Droid, brings it back to a full score. A little bit of luck with the smoke is what he needed there. Ironblood, do they have the utility for this retake?
I don't think they care if they have the utility or not. Knowing Iron Blood, they're going to go regardless of that fact. Dare has already picked up another one. Intra, that's huge. Brett still engaging with the Opper. Takes a leg shot before he goes down. Takes down the Opper. Spray from Freshy into the open. Brett had Freshy. Half a minute pincher. Time is becoming a factor. Freshy blind spray doesn't connect. And Brett's picked up a big green gun. He swings out wide. He's shut down. And Iron Blood are good for 9. I'm going to say that with confidence here.
They swapped to the player with the kit. That was the tactical plan.
Yeah. Can't
9-5
farm if you lose the round, right?
That is true. That is a very fair point. And I have to wonder what would happen if the op didn't try to go for the pick. If Florence didn't get overzealous. Could be a very different situation here and now. Either way, that name, even if a little bit plastic on their takes, a little bit shallow in their strat book, they still do indeed show us some solid ancient setups and strategies. Iron Blood, though, still in the driver's seat, still looking for 10, still expected to get 10, I would say, at this point.
If Brett has a rifle in that situation instead of the op, he has a much better chance.
But on 18 HP just doesn't seem possible. Freshy. That most certainly does seem possible. Good flash from his teammate. Brett peeking in towards the side. All finds the aggression, finally punishing Iron Blood's assertiveness here on Ancient. Good one to find, but they still need a lot more. Keep in mind this map is incredibly CT-sided. Snav in middle, going to fall away towards Donut. Iron Blood is still going to try and wrest away control of middle.
Ooh. I thought Snav had a good opportunity for 2, but Florence is there for the trade, and that's big because it keeps the man advantage for Detonate, and it also spreads this defense of Iron Blood much thinner. It's almost becoming butter scraped over too much bread here. Only problem is Iron Blood can't take a holiday, or this one goes to a 9-6, and that's where things can get a little messy for Iron Blood. A pistol round win for Detonate, and a couple of rounds following, they're all tied up, and a good CT economy can be very hard to knock down on this map. It's a great read from Iron Blood, though. All 3 remaining players are here. Dare, not being contested by any utility, has found one. Indra with the second. 2 left. They don't clear out. Droid in the cubby. It's all down to Freshy. He's been spotted. And he now swaps over to nothing but a Glock cut from the side by Intra. 10-5 into the half. See you in 3 minutes.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Iron Blood in the driver's seat for the first half of CT side. We'll have to see if they can continue the dominance here on the second half. I'm Pineapple Phillips, joined by Boggs, and this round is upon us. Double dually Super Soldier. Is there a kid in play for the CT side? No, there is not. Dare drops Brett, though, immediately. A nice dink and body shot to follow. It is a straight play towards B, much like the play from Detonate in half number one. A clean and convincing take back towards the back lines, and Freshy and Micro now, the last two remaining, have to try and pick up the pieces, try to build something from the ashes, and if it was a run, like I said, it just doesn't seem possible. Intro, the final two nails in the coffin. Iron Blood do carry their momentum over the second half with now an dominating 11-5 scoreline.
It is indeed a dominating 11-5, and it's going to get even more threatening, as this should be a 3-round for Iron Blood to win. Detonate cannot force here. They force here. They basically throw most logical chances of making the comeback happen on this map. So they're going to have to save. They're going to go for something crazy, run it down with the pistols. If you find a way to win this, cool. Chances are you won't, but you at least give yourself a chance by death falling forward. The run is through, and only one kill out of that one for Snap, but Shane has come through. Dare is there, and it's all down to Micro now with an AK to get a little more damage done. The bomb not spotted by the CT player, and Micro here, Snap running around. It's the MAC-10, though, to win the fight, and that's about as clean as you can get. One messy duel for Dare in the initial, but overall, Iron Blood smooth with that finish. Detonate now with their first and really last chance to get things going in this half.
It is their first and last chance, indeed. MAC-10 dropped as well for that AK, so really nothing lost at all for Iron Blood in that round. Well done. Detonate. They have to do what Iron Blood did. They have to win the first rifle round to really begin to put their foot down from there. This is a CT-sided map, and given the outcome of half number one, they don't have a lot of rope to work with Detonate. They have to start off strong, and is compromised. A lack of utility. They do have a kit, sure, but only an MP9 on Cryptic makes things rather difficult. He's playing the best spot for that SMG in towards the Jaguar Cave's position, but Iron Blood, they're taking a far more direct and assertive approach to their T side.
And that's kind of Iron Blood's MO, isn't it? They run into you, and they fight you, and they try to shoot. They take a very simplistic approach for the most part. Very straightforward, headstrong. They have put the bomb down for a rotation if they do want to go back towards A, though. This is a little more defaulty than we've been accustomed to seeing across their first two maps. Although they are going to convene over towards B, they're going to gather. 3 players here, though, for Detonate and fast rotation with that double donut play. Iron Blood should be careful. They don't have a lot of utility themselves. It's really going to come down to that initial gunfight and dealing with probably 2 of these 3 side players to at least facilitate a plant.
The first attack is going to be Cryptic. Smoke is down. 20 seconds left of this one. 25. You're going to have to go for it. Molotov towards the close. Covey. Smoke towards the back right. And Dare wins the opening duel. Takes lots of damage short, but he finds Brett. Spam does not connect. The MP9, though, shall. Cryptic finds one and doesn't overextend. There we go.
Team
Snap.
Molly death.
Finding that. Droid, though, drops Shane, as you mentioned. It makes things awkward, difficult. Dare finds one finally, dropped by Micro. Droid there with the trade. Just Freshy in the back lines. Rotating in, and he can only find one before he's done. That is another round for Iron Blood, and they just won't let Detonate get started. They're just going to shut them down outright, and at this point, it seems like 14 is all but certain for Iron Blood.
Detonate. They've been put in shackles. Can they generate enough heat to melt the iron? Iron Blood. They've entered the fast track to victory now. It's pistols for Detonate. They've had a couple of good half-buy rounds that have come at critical junctures across both Inferno and Vertigo. They need one here now more desperately than any time previously. And Micro kicks it off. Headshot delivered. Cryptic with another. Brett goes down, but that doesn't matter. 4v3 in the favor of the CT side. Freshy with that Tacticat. CZ ready to mow down somebody else up close, but Dare has found the entry. In towards the A site, they'll crawl. Might go around, swings out wide. Dare was waiting, and he was just daring Micro to peek. Calls his bluff. Cryptic and Florence have to win this round, or it's 14-5. Cryptic with that AK becomes a little more impactful. Snav, though, and Donut is in a prime position to gobble up Florence. Shane is here as well. The leg shows. The spray reveals his position. And Florence into the open goes down. Cryptic now 1v3. Surely not to be. Only one. And Iron Blood are 2 away from victory.
Very good adjustment from T side. In spite of the early adversity, those pistols really can deathball with those early advantages. 2 for 1 was how things started, and we had a player alone on an island over towards the caves. Very good use, repurposing the Molotovs to just buy some space and dutifully clearing out the angles. Freshie specifically was a potential linchpin in that round for Detonate, but he was studiously cleared up close and personal by one of those AKs. Ironblood not leaving anything to chance, reining things in, and rightfully taking back a 14. They have been flawless thus far on their T side. Dare, Molotov, I think it was a team Molotov as well. Ironblood showing an early lean towards B. Cryptic trying to spam much like Shane did in half number 1, but not to the same effect.
Brett's down very low. He's in the danger area. Cave players need to be huge. That's a big one from Cryptic. Started off on the intra Molotov now to try and segment these players, but already the fadeaway was initiated by Detonate. They're backing out. They don't want to. Micro swings out wide. There's Dare. Dustin, 2-man advantage for Detonate. Snav swings. The trade comes through, at least attempted by Micro. Snav down to 1 HP. Not literally 1 HP, but a 1 shot. Shane he calls Micro's bluff. He just swings in wide, and that's where Iron Blood are feeling confident. They play like, no, gun barrel spotted by Droid. He knows. He spotted out Brett. Smoke goes down for that angle. Bomb can go down as it moves towards the site. The only retake utility available for the CT side is a singular flashbang. The nade connects onto Brett. Another smoke to ward off a push. Freshie waiting to go on forward. Caught from behind by Droid. All down to Florence. The lightning strike. He has to catch lightning in a bottle, Nate.
Lightning has to strike the same spot not once, not twice, but 3 times. That's just not going to happen. You can't rely on that. Even in a 14-5 situation, even when your back is now literally against the wall, you can't justify it. And it's very unfortunate. You can't really attempt it. Big green just in the wrong spot at the wrong time. It's going to save, and Ironblood 15. Again, slow to start on map number 1, but map number 2 and 3, they do rein things back in. You said they were the favored team to win it here. I think that will be the case. Nate, though, still showing us some solid signs of promise.
Detonate their last chance. They have 10 last chances if they can continue winning to get to overtime. But Iron Blood, they have been good. They have been crisp. They have been clean and dialed in. They are ready to finish the job. They are ready to shut down Detonate and take this series in reverse sweep fashion. Nate, it is close. It is almost over. For the last round can always sometimes be the hardest. Dare. Oh my gosh, what is...
He ran down middle. He just ran. That we were watching them the whole time. You thought it was a CT player falling back from middle after throwing. No, it was just Dare. Inting it down. 22.
Ready.
3. Oh my god. It just feels like the round's done dusted. No respect play from Dare. He dares to go for that kind of play. We're gonna make the punt again. I think it's 10 or 11 times now.
Do you
4
dare
versus
one more?
3. Oh, we're gonna keep going meta. Keep going meta. They right themselves.
Oh boy.
Brett, Freshie, and Cryptic left to retake. MP9 in Cryptic's hands still could be very capable. Droid, though, drops down. MP9 jumping in. It's a dink, but not a kill. Snav finds that. Time ticking away. Brett, at this point, Ninja is your most viable opportunity. Time first, not the second. It's the round done and dusted. And that is a convincing victory from Ironblood on map number 3.
A very convincing victory for Iron Blood. They shut it down, they lock it out, they claim victory here. And that is more or less what we expected to see from, at least I expected to see from Iron Blood across all three maps. Vertigo was scary, they barely got that one over the line. Inferno was a phenomenal map from Detonate. Iron Blood out of the gate very slow, never really able to get their footing fully.